The Greatest Love, an Easter story, narrative format. A long time ago, in the bustling city of Jerusalem, people were preparing for a great celebration. It was the time of Passover, a special festival where families came together to remember how God had saved them in the past. But something even greater was about to happen. Jesus, the kind teacher and healer many had heard about, was coming into the city. Jesus didn't ride in on a horse like a warrior king. Instead, he came humbly, riding on a donkey. As he entered the city, crowds of people gathered, waving palm branches and shouting, "Hosanna! Hosanna in the highest! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." They laid down their cloaks and welcomed him with joy, but not everyone was pleased. The religious leaders watched from the shadows, worried and suspicious. They feared Jesus was becoming too powerful and wanted to find a way to stop him. A few days later, Jesus gathered with his 12 closest friends, his disciples, for a special meal, now remembered as the Last Supper. As they sat around the table, Jesus looked at them with love and sadness in his eyes. "One of you will betray me," he said. The disciples were shocked. "Is it me, Lord?" each of them asked. Jesus then took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and gave it to them, saying, "Take and eat, this is my body." Then he took a cup, gave thanks, and said, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood poured out for many." He told them to remember him whenever they ate and drank like this. Later that night, Jesus went with some of his disciples to a quiet garden called Gethsemane. He told them to keep watch while he prayed, but they were tired and fell asleep. Alone in the darkness, Jesus fell to his knees and prayed, "Father, if it's possible, take this cup from me, but not my will, yours be done." Moments later, Judas, one of his disciples, arrived with soldiers. He greeted Jesus with a kiss. This was the sign he had given the guards. Jesus was arrested and led away, while the rest of his friends fled in fear. Jesus was taken to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Though Pilate could find no fault in him, the crowd stirred up by the religious leaders shouted for Jesus to be crucified. Pilate asked them if they wanted Jesus or Barabbas, a known criminal, to be released. The crowd cried, "Barabbas!" And when Pilate asked what should be done with Jesus, they screamed, "Crucify him!" Pilate washed his hands in front of them, saying, "I am innocent of this man's blood," and handed Jesus over to be crucified. Jesus was forced to carry his cross to a hill called Golgotha. He stumbled under its weight, beaten and mocked by soldiers. When they reached the top of the hill, they nailed him to the cross between two criminals. People laughed and jeered, saying, "If you're the Son of God, come down from the cross." But Jesus, even in his pain, looked up and prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." After hours of suffering, Jesus cried out, "It is finished," and took his last breath. The sky grew dark, and the earth trembled. Jesus' friends took his body down and placed it in a tomb carved out of rock. A large stone was rolled in front, and Roman guards were placed outside to make sure no one could get in. His followers were heartbroken. It felt like all hope was lost. But on the third day, just as the sun was rising, some women came to the tomb, bringing spices to anoint his body. To their surprise, the stone had been rolled away. The guards had fallen like dead men, and an angel was sitting where the body had been. The angel said, "Do not be afraid. Jesus is not here, he has risen." Full of wonder and fear, the women ran to tell the disciples. Along the way, Jesus himself appeared to them. "Do not be afraid," he said. "Go and tell my brothers to meet me in Galilee." Jesus appeared to many people after that, his friends, followers, even those who doubted. He showed them the scars on his hands and feet. He spoke peace over them and reminded them of all he had taught. Before returning to heaven, he said, "Go into all the world and share the good news. I am with you always, to the end of the age." And so, the story of Easter is not just about pain or loss, it is about life. It is about hope, forgiveness, and the greatest love the world has ever known. Jesus gave his life for us, and on Easter Sunday,